about that. All right, Joel, you have the floor.
Okay. I think I lost you for a second here. So let me clarify. I didn't start as a tech person. In fact, I wanted to be an architect. Yeah, I loved drawing. So that was everything I was passionate about. In my books, I would you will learn something and you'll be able to make a difference with it. I hope that was short enough.
All right, yes, that was actually short enough. All right, thank you so much. So apparently you actually gained your passion for, in quotes, tech while you were like really young, unlike the rest of us that we had completed school and we're already thinking about what we'll do with our life before we start, thinking, okay, maybe tech is for us or tech is not for us and all of that. So that's actually amazing. That's really amazing. All right, so Michael, our speaker, our product designer speaker, he said he's here as Pelumi. So please turn on your video so we can see you. Thank you very much. So we'll just be going to Mary right now. So Mary, just briefly tell us about, your journey into software development and, technical writing. Did you find it difficult to make the switch from software development to technical writing? Because I know that a lot of software developers, a lot of software engineers are trying to express themselves better. Their codes that they're writing, I think they're trying to explain it through technical writing and all of that. So just, briefly tell us about your journey.
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Mary. Can you hear me? Just to be sure my audio is clear.
Yes,
okay. Okay, so as you said earlier, I'm a graduate of biochemistry. I came into software development. I had a roommate back in school, I think 400 level. She was actually into tech and she was my best friend. So I was just following her around. I wasn't really sure what was happening, but I needed to just tag along. And I could see that she was doing awesome things, but I felt, no, I want to focus as a biochemist, get my master's, get my PhD, do something wonderful, right? And then after my project, I got employed as a research assistant by my supervisor. I was doing pretty well. And then I think 3 months down the line, I was tired. It was becoming too, how would I put it now? It was as if I had my life all set out, right? I come to the office, I do lab tests. It was just too much for me. I needed something more spontaneous. And I'm a very curious person. I believe I could do more than just do this. So I was actually schooled in Uniben. So then Edo State government is very keen on tech. So they had a data science boot camp and they were teaching Python. And I was like, okay, I think I would like to learn something about this. So I actually went for the boot camp and I came home. I was wild because I understood nothing. And I said, yes, this is it. The fact that I understood nothing meant that I needed to do this. I felt like I knew so much about biochemistry. I needed something extra. So I started off, I did not understand. I decided to take these things on my own, started learning more about Python. And I came into software development as a data scientist. So as I just started, and then after a while, I had to switch to web development and I left data science on the side. So I started writing, I think 2019, 2020, right? I was writing just to express myself as a writer. I actually follow Edith Young on Twitter, Didi Codes. She actually writes, and then I read a particular blog of ours, and she was like, it's good to put yourself out there as a newbie. You need to put yourself out there, create a brand. Writing, not just making money, it helps you build confidence in yourself, because sometimes you feel you know something, but until you are called to explain to someone else, then you realize that, okay, I don't think I actually understood what I read. So when I have to write, I have to be sure I understand well for me to be able to explain to someone else. So it built my confidence. I was getting better as a developer while writing. And so I just started writing like officially like 2021. Yeah, so I took writing like, okay, I wanted to do writing. So then I started writing just to express myself, to teach other people. And then when I get reviews from people and they're like, oh, I loved your article. You actually explained this better to me than anyone else could have done. And I felt like, okay, this is actually a service to mankind, right? You had difficulties understanding something and then you write about it. Somebody else understands it better from your article. So I felt like this is something I should actually take up as a side time job. So currently I actually work as a technical writer for some other companies. So yeah, I think that was short enough. So that was my introduction to software development and technical writing. Yes.
All right. Okay, so if there's one thing I have noticed with what both you and Joel talked about is the curiosity part. Like, for example, Mina, I would not necessarily say I'm a curious person. I stumbled into tech. It's not like I was on a quest to, yes, basically I was actually on a quest to find out what I wanted to do with my life, yes, but I wasn't necessarily curious. But actually I just entered one kind. But I love that the curiosity started like way back, and you could actually tell yourself, you don't know anything, so therefore I want to know about it. There are some people that that's Nigerian English, so therefore. Anyhow, pardon that. But there are some people that, I don't know about it, they'll still go home and that's the end of it. You get, but you actually like took this step, which is something I would, tell everybody else on this call. As much as possible, when you see that you do not know about something, try to find out about it. And I'm sure that's why you're here, because, you want to find out about tech or how to get into tech or how to get your whatever tech skill you're interested in. So that's amazing, Mary. Thank you so much. So we're moving to Michael here as Pelumi, because I do not know why you are here as Pelumi. So are you here with us, Michael? All right, so Michael, I already introduced Michael earlier. So he will be speaking about product designing, how he got, apparently Michael is like a big shot. So like you guys should just like search for him on LinkedIn. He's, Michael Emmanuel. Just search for him. He's like making waves and everything. So Michael will just be briefly telling us about how, or Michael here as Pelumi will just be briefly telling us about, how he got into product design, what his journey has been so far, and also, how he started up, what challenges he faced. So Michael will just be telling us quickly about sorry
They
about
call it, yeah, they call it BTL. So I started working in BTL, Experiential Marketing Agency. So I worked there as an account executive. So I was handling core accounts like Jamieson and the like. So I moved from account management to creative strategist. So I worked in marketing comms for about 5 years. So I was that guy that, was doing stuff, writing documents, strategy documents for brands, for events, experiential events, doing in-stores, do brand activations. All of these things, my life was looking so sweet and chilled. It was stressful. They were not paying me so much, but I enjoyed it because I was always going for events, different clubs and all of that. But 2020 came and COVID happened. So the funny thing is I got a job offer with another agency in February to resume in May. So I resigned from the company I was so that I could prepare myself to resume in the next company. Then COVID happened. So when COVID happened, I could not resume the new job because COVID had happened. And I was not even in my other job. So I was at home. Now, I was at home broke. In between that period of time, I had issues with my landlord at the time. So much shambles at the time. Do you get? It was just there everywhere. No direction. I was confused. Do you get? So for so many people, they say they got into tech through curiosity. I did not enter tech because I was curious, right? I entered tech because I needed the money. at the time. So I'm not ashamed to say it.
It's valid. That's
It was
valid.
not my passion. Do you understand? It wasn't the passion for me. So I'm pretty sure a lot of people are looking for passion. Me, I did not have passion. My passion was to be a party boy. I like to be an extrovert.
Okay.
But at this time, I had to take up this. So I was on LinkedIn. Now, mind you, at the time, 2020 in September, not August, I had just 70 connections on LinkedIn. And these 70 connections were just my friends, right? So I think I went on LinkedIn and I was looking for a normal post, like anybody that would post maybe a marketing communications job. That's what I was looking for. And then, unfortunately for me, I did not see. But fortunately, somebody talked about product design, a master class. So I said, oh, mad, let me even attend it. So I attended the class. I liked the idea of, Figma, design, da. So that's how my life, right? So I took up a master class. I applied to a design school, which we paid for. It was for about 2 to 3 months. And then boom, my journey started.
That's amazing. I mean, like your reason is actually very, very valid. Like you guys, as you're on the call, if your reason is you want to make that dollars, it is very, very valid. Like some of us are joining, some people are joining tech just so that they can jackpot, just so, whatever reason it is actually very valid. Whatever it is that you want to go into, it's actually very, very valid. And I love that. Okay, so so someone said from a master class to a learning program and boom, design bro. Not just any kind of design bro, because like I said, go and check him out on LinkedIn. Yeah. So if there's one thing I noticed between what Mary said and what Michael is talking about, Mary talked about how you need to put yourself out there as a newbie. And from where Michael is coming from to where he currently is, because I think he has like 7,000 or so followers on LinkedIn, but it's at thousands. I don't know, I can't remember the number right now, but I know I checked it during the week and it's like, a lot. The number is like a lot. And he said he had just 70 in what's it called? So someone said, okay, Felua said she's learning product design to earn better too. Yes, that's totally valid. So from where Michael is coming from, having 70 connections on LinkedIn to having the thousands of followers out there, if there's something you need to know about, getting into tech or, starting your career, whether in tech or anything you are doing at all, is to learn to put yourself out there, learn to network, learn to put yourself out there, learn to that you can show up and you can do the work. So make sure you try to put yourself out there as you're starting. Inform people, I'm starting, you might want to keep me accountable, and all of that. So yes, so Michael's reason is very valid. He wanted his landlord to not disturb him anymore. He wanted to have money to party, to ball every Friday. It's just because we are having this session now. I don't think Michael will be here. He'll be out balling now. All right, so we'll be moving to Lola. Lola is just going to, like I said, Lola is a business analyst, an IT business analyst, because apparently you can be doing a lot of things as a business analyst. So Lola is going to tell us about, her background, where she's coming from. I mean, how she got into business analysis, IT business analysis particularly, and then what the typical day in the life of a business analyst is. Because I really I think I have a general idea, but at the same time it's still very vague. It's not very clear what a business analyst does. So Lola will just be telling us briefly about her journey, her background, and so you have the floor, Lola.
Thank you, Effie. Good morning, everyone, once again. So, yeah, don't mind me, might be slow. I haven't recovered from the week. Yeah, so, my name is Oyinlola, and I am an IT business analyst. So my background, I am a finance person. I have my first and second degrees in finance, and I love finance, but finance didn't choose me. It does not want to choose me back, right? So I graduated with a 2-2 right? Not because I'm olodo, I'm smart, but it's just that let's leave the excuse for. Right. So, and there's a reason why I have stated that, because it's going to, give you insight into my how I transitioned and everything. So I started off as wanting to be an investment banker because, yeah, my lecturer in school, like, my colleague, the way investment banking will suit me, even if my grades are like wacky and all. So I got into investment banking with a small firm like that, and I just wanted to grow. Okay, yes, I know how to do the basics. I know how to evaluate. I know how to write business plan. I've learned that. So let's move on to the big guys, to the Stanbic, to the UCAP and the likes. And everyone is saying if you don't have a 2-1, then you are no. Okay, I don't have a 2-1. I started reaching out, LinkedIn, so I can do it. I can, this is my, but okay, come, write SHL. The first SHL, 90%, 95%, like super, super nice. But there's just that what's it called now? That constraint of, if you are not on a 2-1, if you don't have a 2-1, you can't even work with us. So I began to think about my life, like, okay, I can't be earning 50K. It's no, I can't, no, it's not done. So I thought about it and I started to study. I started to just read, like just go on the internet, read anything. It can be a novel. I just know that when I get to the office in the morning, I'll just read. Then I stumbled on, an article on Medium, and it stated that for every individual should have at least four area of interest you would perform excellently in your lifetime. I was like, is this possible? Could it be true? So do you think I can do more than investment banking? Do you think my personality, so it also broke down personality types and all of those things and whatnot. So what I'm just bringing out is, I realized that for me as an individual, I can actually perform, or I can take on, or I can do well in several other specialization. Basically, it's just for me to know that, okay, these are the areas. So I went ahead, I did a personality test, then I wrote down the area of specialization based on my research. So I chose business analysis, I chose I chose financial manager, as per, doing investment and all, and investment banking, and so, and two others basically. So I then took those four and I categorized them, and I went to start researching top 10 careers. So this was me 2016, right? Top 10 careers to be relevant in the next 10 years. That was how I started. So I saw business analysis at the forefront, like it was just at the top. You can't even see it on the third level, like it was either the first or the second. Then I went on to take a personality test for business analysis, like who can be a business analyst. Voila, it's Lola, the sharp-mouthed girl. It's Lola, the ambivert. It's Lola, the wanting to solve problem. It's Lola, the wanting to know why that investment analyst did not write the business plan as at when due, and why she wants to just manage time. And so I found all of these things. I'm like, I was born a business analyst. What am I doing here? I know I can do investment banking and all of those. So I started to study, and that was how I began to love the whole idea of business analysis. I started to read and read, basically, just read anything about business analysis, basically. So I would say that's how I began to transition into business analysis, with also having to do more than 24 24 interviews and getting when you finish doing when you finish an interview session and you're like, what a rubbish, like, wow, what were you saying, like, really? And but funnily enough, it was a process, it was a building process. And guess what, what gave me the courage to continue going for those interview sessions were the things I was reading online, like just go at it, just continue basically. And it kept, because I know that when I finish one interview session and I get feedback, I don't want to go to the next one with this mistake I have. So it was progress basically. So I think I'm taking too much time. So, but basically that's how I transitioned, and that's how I got into business analysis. And I didn't get what I really wanted until last year. If you want to know, no. But I've always been a business analyst since 2016. But it was all this business analyst with another thing involved, with finance involved, with this involved. So, but I still took on those roles because I know it's not easy to just get into that IT business analyst role, basically. And so you said, what's the day-to-day IT business analyst like? So there is one thing to be an IT business analyst in a regular company, in a regular software company, and a different ballgame entirely to be an IT business analyst in a bank. It is different. Like, they are two different things. So for a regular IT business analyst is okay, yes, your day-to-day is it's not documentation. People just have that notion of, oh, you just come and do your BRD and that's all you have to do. It's problem solving, right? It is problem solving, making sure that everything needs to be fixed. That's why for business analysts, it is helpful to be vast, to have a knowledge of several, several areas of expertise. So HR, just know processes. So I think that I'll take a cue from, just know processes, and like, just know that if they are talking in an HR meeting, if they are talking about processes, you can tell them, no, I know that after you do this, this is what should be done based on industry standards. So you have to know what the industry standards is. So I know it's a lot, but you just need to keep abreast of what really should be. There is the ASIS part and there is to be, where you have to benchmark a lot of things and say, no, we are doing it wrongly. Even if we do the wrong thing and we achieve what we want to achieve, but there is a time it will backfire. You see that backfire, you need to make them understand that it will backfire. So that's where you are solving problem, because it is working now, but you need to look, as a business analyst, you need to be one step ahead of all stakeholders. So that's like, it's a mental thing. It's not something you find in a textbook. It's not something you say, oh, accounting, when you put opening stock, you put add minus cost of goods sold, or that level, that's step-by-step process. No, it's not that way. It's case by case. It's on a case-by-case basis. So it's a dynamic thing. So when I say day-to-day, it's just solve problem, think outside the box, think as if you are the owner of the business. Do you understand? So I always call business analyst an assistant CEO, basically, because you are taking ownership of whatever is going on. So when you know that you are not being that super business analyst, that's when you now want to limit yourself to, oh, they said documentation, take your documents, I've done my work. Take your test case or test script, I've done my work. That is not who you are, and that is not what a business analyst should do. An IT business analyst in a bank is like managing 10 projects at a go.
Wow.
It's managing 10 projects. Yes, it's managing 10 projects at a go. It's having 5 UATs in a day. It's having to explain to a stakeholder over and over again what you've told him last week. But guess what? You see that over and over again, you know that you've told him like this, he does not understand. You have to look for another way to explain to him. So you can't even do it. So it's a mental job. And I think that's, let me just leave it at that. And maybe people have questions going, in this session now also. Yes, so that's how I am. That's my journey as an IT business analyst.
That's really, really amazing. Like I said, personally for me, I know that, business analysis is like a lot, but never really gotten like a clear idea of who a business analyst is and, what they do. And another thing which you said at the beginning before you started, which I would just like to reiterate to everyone on the call, is that, you've not recovered from the week yet. Now, guys, tech is not beans. It's not. You guys just know.
It's not beans.
I know everybody wants to make all of the dollars, all of the $100,000 a year that
it's not
on LinkedIn and social media, but it's not beans. Like you be working. It's not 9 to 5. It's like 9 to 9. You have to you're always working and you're constantly busy and everything.
right.
So yeah, we just move quickly to Theophila right now. So Theophila will be telling us, basically about your background, obviously, and your journey. Can you guys hear me? Okay, so I think someone is giving me a feedback. So yes, we'll just be moving. Theophila will be telling us about her background, her journey into social media management, and are you going to leave social media management and branch into other aspects of digital marketing? Because I feel like that's a question that social media managers or people going into social media managers want to know. Like, okay, is there a point where in their social media journey where they can move, they can confidently say, oh yes, it's fine, I can now move to aspects of social media marketing. I know when I started my marketing journey, I started with social media management, and then I moved on to other things, SEO and all of that, and currently I'm working as a growth marketer. So yeah, just tell us about your background. Tell us how you got into social media management. Tell us what are the opportunities. Are there specific opportunities in social media management that people should look out for, or should they, set their eyes on the broader horizon of digital marketing?
Okay, so hi everybody. Hi Essie. First of all, I'd love to give you flowers for holding all of us together. Because community management is not beans, and you've brought in the energy so far. So well done. Honestly, well done. I know I can't be a community manager. I don't have the energy. Yes, so well, it takes a lot to host meetings like this and ensure that everybody is being carried along, and you've maintained the same energy from the beginning. So well done. And hi everybody. First of all, I said that I was going to tell Oyinlola that UBA is annoying me. Okay. So now I want somebody that I can drag. So
what did we do?
I'm dragging you. Drag you with your company wholeheartedly. And hi Joel. No, I will drag you people, don't worry. Hi Joel. Hi Mary. Hi Pelumi. And hi Tommy. Tommy is such a wonderful person. He has been giving me constant reminders. And hi every single person on the call. You're in the right place, don't worry. More tech bodies, they're doing something really amazing. For me, they're doing something really amazing, and I hope you learn a lot. So I'm just going to start. My journey into social media management, it was actually, there's a statement that I've always known right from when I was small. I don't want to do any work that I will not enjoy. Because when I was small, I used to see how people would come back home and they look frustrated after working, right? So I always made up my mind that I would not take on any job that I do not enjoy. Basically, I didn't want to be a sad person. I have a belief, for me, I prioritize career. Sorry, please excuse me. I prioritize career satisfaction over money. Yes, if a job is not making me happy, I would not stay in that job. I can't take on that job. For context, I studied accounting for 4 years, every day I was going to the class, I was saying, God, please just help me make it through. Like, just help me make it through, right? Because I don't know how I did it, but I somehow did it, right? And I graduated. So I already made up my mind. During my IT, my 100 level, we did, during my 100 level, I did IT and accounting. It was very boring. We were just bank reconciliation, kinikon, 200 level again. It was the same thing. You know, like what Mary complained about, the fact that it's monotonous, it's a boring process. You're like, my brain can do more than this, for goodness sake, right? So, and prior to this time, I'd been writing professional exams. I also noticed that I had a skill for talking to people easily. And when people wanted to sell their product or brand their product, they would come and meet me. And then I would give the advice effortlessly. I would help them to sell their products. Like sometimes my friend would just be like, I have this thing to sell. And then by the time we go around, the products will be sold in like that whole day, right? So if you brought something to school and you needed to sell, just come and meet me. I went to community university, so we'll be going from like door to door. And before we even reach like maybe the next block, it has finished, basically, right? So that was a skill that I noticed that I had. I was like, okay, this skill, I'm going to take it by the side. So when everybody asked me about, you're good in marketing, I was like, it's to be a side hustle for me. You know, that time I was blinded by ICANN. The ICANN that I did not write, and I will not write in Jesus' name, amen. So I was blinded by ICANN, basically, right? And I was like, just like what Mary said, let me focus on my goals, you know. After now, I'll write ICANN. After I write ICANN, I'll write ACCA. But I was lying to myself. Like, no, I was lying to myself. So in 300 level, that was during COVID, I had clarity. COVID was a blessing for me. It was like a huge blessing, right? So I knew that, okay, like I just started thinking, there was a point that I just started thinking a lot and I'll be reading a lot. And I was like, I don't want to end up in a place where I'm doing the work and I don't enjoy the work. So I started taking career tests, like what Unilola said. If you're very, very confused, I think it was Chika that said she didn't know what she wants, or she doesn't know what she wants yet, but like she wants somebody to guide her through something in her career. So I advise you to take career tests. See, like, search out career paths. I mapped out 4 industries I felt like I could function in, and I started testing the waters. The first one was consulting. I took a course there. I said, no, this is not for me. I don't enjoy doing this, right? I don't know why I was deceiving myself, because I was still going to end up in brand and marketing. I really don't know why I deceived myself a lot. I mapped out another one, PR. I was like, I don't enjoy doing this. I got to brand and marketing and I did it effortlessly. And so I took a course, yes. The social media Oga like launched her first course, and I was like, okay, what's the social media marketing? And social media management is an aspect of marketing. Okay, let me test the waters and see. And after I took that course, like I just knew this is where I am supposed to be. This is what I'm supposed to do. That was my 300 level, right? So in my 400 level, my final year, I didn't have time. That was sometime in 2021. I didn't have time to take up like jobs of people like that wanted to do that. But like I kept advising people, and I found myself in roles where like I volunteered willingly, anything PR related, because I had a conversation with myself. I said, you studied accounting, but you know it's not accounting you want to do when you graduate. And you have to look for a way to convince your employers that you sabi work, you know what you're doing. So there are 2 things involved. You either build the skill or you get experience. Currently, you don't have the time to take the courses that you need. So what you're going to do is that you're going to look for experience, and every opportunity to volunteer, I initially wanted to shy away from it, but I had to give myself sense. So when they were doing certain things, like there's a conference we hold in my school regularly, right? And this conference has a very low publicity for women. But initially, I didn't want to take on the work. And later I was like, okay, you know what? Later it fell on my feet. It fell on my hand, actually, I mean my feet. And I was like, this conference hasn't had much publicity ever since I've been in this school. So the goal I set then was that in my time, the publicity will be very, very high, and we hit it, right? So I was like, I'm going to use this as a training ground for myself. That was the first one. The second one, I have a friend that has an NGO, and she was like, okay, she needed help with PR. I took on the work and I gave all like my all, like aside other people I've been working with, I gave my all. I was like, I'm going to do this work like I'm going to the office, like I'm paid, because I need, like, you need to convince your employers that, I may be coming from accounting, but I sabi work. And you've invested knowledge in yourself. You've paid. I paid for, if you pay with your money, you work, because I paid for courses, I paid for certifications, I paid for coaching. I was like, I should sit down on this bed and nobody will know what I'm doing. No, we're not doing that today. So I made the extra effort. I was like, okay, I'm going to build experience. And in 2021, I graduated from school. 2022, I went for service. I served in Edo State, by the way, Mary. Hi. So 2022, Edo State is a very same state compared to Lagos State. So you're going to have a lot of time to do certain things. So I gave myself time. I was like, in this year, nothing less, nothing more, 4 or 5 certifications, right? Because first of all, I had gotten the experience. Secondly, employers want to know that you have knowledge to a certain extent. Nobody is going to employ. See, they are giving you their money. They're giving you their business. They're not going to give it to somebody they are very scared to give it to somebody that is just starting. So you have to prove yourself to a level like, okay, I can do this, right? So I took courses and I started, like, the fact that I had experience before helps with the courses I was taking. So when I was taking the course, it was just like me, like, relating it to the experience I had before, right? So that's how I found myself in social media management, like, and I'm really enjoying my journey. Like, marketing is something I enjoy. I want to build a career. I cannot be in accounting. I won't survive. They will sack me after the first day because I'll be doing rubbish, but that's by the side. So the question you asked as regards transitioning out of this anytime soon. So I think I started by saying, like, I know that I wanted to build a career, and I didn't want to build a career like in just anything. I wanted to do what I enjoyed. So I knew that social media management was like a door to building that career, right? In that phase of my life where it was like the easiest thing to do at the moment, and I enjoyed it. Will I transition out of social media management eventually? Yes. My current role, it's safe to say I am actually working as a digital marketing associate, because I've had the opportunity to, like, work inside and manage certain people, manage certain things, because what I was doing before was social media management for, like, individuals or brand, but working in a company has given me the experience to work with departments. I know how, like, the whole thing is interrelated, and I know that eventually I'm going to transition out of social media management to what now is what I don't know, but I know that, like, this was just a start for me and an opportunity to gain experience, enjoy the process. So thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Theo, for that. Thank you so much. So if you're just joining in, welcome to the No Code Tech webinar hosted by More Techies. Welcome, guys. And if you heard Phila speak, actually two things that really got me. Number one, it's either you decide to take courses or, take certifications, or you try to get experience, which is something that we really, try to help people do here at More Techies. So at More Techies, we have, different no-code programs. We have product management, we have product design, UI, UX design, we have technical writing, we have business analysis, social media management, and we also have, some courses that are currently in the pipeline that we'll be launching very soon, courses such as cloud computing, product marketing, we actually have, website design. So we have, like, a lot of courses in the pipeline. That is for the courses part. And then for the other aspects that she said, which is, try to get experience. At More Techies, we noticed that, okay, a lot of people were, going for all these courses, getting certifications, and they were still finding it difficult to get jobs here. So what we try to do is we have a 6-month internship program where you come in with, whatever skill it is that you have already previously learned, and then you go through the talent accelerator program, which is what we call it. You go through the talent accelerator program and you are immersed in building a product, because all of the people currently in our talent accelerator program, they're in different teams, which we call sales, and they're all building, different products. Some are working on fintech products, some are working on edutech products. So you are actually going to be, using the skill that you have gotten or that you have learned about and practicing it, putting it into practice. So this is actually a bit about what we do at More Techies. So thank you so much. Theophila, are you still here? Because I want to ask you a question. Okay, so I'll be going back to Teophila to ask her a question. So you guys know, like, the vibe like that Teophila is giving is like, an outgoing person. She and Michael, they could, go out at ball and they would have fun, right? She seems like the fun kind of person. So I want to ask them, for anyone going into social media management, do they have to be like necessarily an extrovert? Because I know that how you are personally reflects in, whatever it is that you'll be doing online. So if you're managing a social media account for a company, how you speak is how you will type, that kind of thing. It's usually like influences who you are as a person. I feel like it kind of influences, what you would put out. So someone who is an introvert would, let's say they want to put themselves out there, just like Mary said, they would, okay, I worked on so and so thing and I did this and I did that, and then they will put it like that. But someone who is an extrovert who likes to talk in quotes would, give the gist about how they went about the process, all of the different things, and it will reflect who they are as a person, would actually reflect in whatever it is that they have posted. So I just want to know, is it compulsory, mandatory, necessary as extroverts before you can, be, because social media manager, you're also creating content, right? So I want to just let us know, do you have to be an extrovert before you can be a social media manager?
No, I'm not an extrovert. I'm an ambivert. Yes, I like my personal space a lot, and I don't like going out except I'm with my family or friends. But I don't have an issue relating with people. Like, I find it very easy to talk with people, bring up conversations. So it's going to, I'm not going to say it's going to affect you, but if you get into certain space, because as a social media manager, like, it's not really about you, right? Maybe if you're working B2C, you can get carried away, and you're like, okay, I have to look for a way to like write in this particular way. But like, it's not really about you, because what you're doing at that moment is that somehow you're going to fit yourself into the shoes of the brand, and you're going to speak the way they speak. And I can tell you that introverts, extroverts, ambiverts, it doesn't matter, because at that moment, nobody cares about your feeling. Like, what you're supposed to do at that moment, like, you are the representative of the brand on social media. So if the brand is uptight, you're going to be uptight, how you write, what you do, what you say. If the brand is jovial, whether you're jovial or not, you have to find that jovial tone, and you're going to reflect it in their messages, right? And for the aspect of content creation is just like one part of social media management, right? So again, content creation is broad. You have video content creation, you have text content creation, it varies. So you don't necessarily have to engage in content creation where you, like, if you're an introvert and you're struggling with speaking with people, then you know that anything reels might not really be for me. I mean, or anything that has to show my face right might not be for me, because you see some people that they express themselves writing properly compared to videos, and then vice versa, like for some other people. So it doesn't really matter on personality. Like, you have to body the company, you have to speak like them, you have to wear their hats and all. So yes, I hope that answered the question.
Yes, it did, actually. Yes, it did. So everyone just joining in, because people are actually still joining in. Thank you, Theophila, for that. So to everyone just joining in, welcome. This is the More Techies No Code Tech webinar. We're speaking to a lot of people in different fields about getting into tech, and what you need to do, what you need to know about your journey in tech. So one last question for you before I go to some other speakers. And guys, if you have questions, you can, start putting it in the chat session so we can, talk to the speakers, ask the speakers the questions. So Theophila, how important is it to have a writing skill from the manager to write?
It is very important. So some sometimes last year I started something where, like, okay, for context, guys, don't be scared. Let me give you a background story. I failed English in, I don't know, those English teachers, they mark based on their feelings, because I'm writing like my holiday story and you are marking me down. You were not there. Were you there? Do you know what I do you know what I mean? No, think about it. So don't let the English in secondary school like make you feel like I'm not, because if based on the English in secondary school, I'm not supposed to be in marketing, guys. I'm supposed to be farming. So this is like to calm anybody down that is like, I'm not good in English, just calm down, like the skill can be learned, right? So writing is very, very important, and you can hone your writing skills. You can hone any skill, that's my belief. You cannot do it, it's different from I can't do it yet. I always tell people, have the yet mentality, right? So because it will set you apart, even when you're taking jobs. Once you say I can't do it yet, they're willing to invest in you, right? So for writing, I started with writing like long captions, and then I'll write, and then people say, you write so well, it's interesting. I did not really rate the skill. Again, remember that my English teacher was failing me, so I didn't really believe that, oh, I could write. But I started like not just writing, I now started like intentionally making effort to improve my writing skills. Even as of last year, I have a friend where like I send emails to the friend just so I can improve the writing skill, right? Writing is very important. You will write caption, you will draw inspiration. Now, there's ChatGPT, but still, you still have to edit it, right? There are other helpful tools. Canva Pro has helpful tools, right? But you still have to edit it. So it's very, very important. You write, you had inside of you, you write certain things. So just have it in mind that you need writing as a basic skill for a social media manager, and you can work on it. Don't be discouraged. Take courses, improve yourself. Tell a friend, oh, please, I'd like to be writing. I need you to rate it. Take the honest critique, go back and do better.
All right, thank you so much, Theophila. Thank you very, very much, everyone. So if you check the chat session, you would see links to all of the different programs that I spoke about. You would see links to all of the different programs I spoke about. So I'll be going to Mary right now, and I'll be asking her about technical writing. So seeing as she has like a background in software development, I think there is a popular misconception that technical writers need to know how to code or need to have knowledge about code, software development, backend, front end, all of that plenty things before they can go into technical writing. So I would just need you to clarify that, Mary. So is it like really necessary to know how to code? Because me, I want to learn how to, write technical, because I really know. So please tell us and tell people that like me also.
Okay. First of all, we don't need to know how to code, but I think the word technical article already tells you have to be technical, right? For you to write technical articles, you have to be technical. I think there are other types of writing, content writing, that like varies across every other field, but technical writing as an art, you have to write technical articles. You could be a product manager and write technical articles. You could be a designer and write technical articles. So when you ask what is technical article itself, it's just an act of simplifying complex ideas, right? So when you take something that seems very complex and then you write about it, simplify it so someone else can actually understand, I think that's technical writing in a sense. So you don't have to know how to program to actually write technical articles. You just have to be technical enough in your fields, to actually write technical articles. So it's branches across every other fields in tech other than software development.
All right. Thank you so much, Mary. Thank you so much. So I'll be going to Oyinlola right now. Oyinlola was, telling us a lot about what a business analyst does and what a typical day in the life of a business analyst is. Okay, so for those that are just joining in, I would just like you to clarify, because I feel like amongst all of this, all of the different fields where we have speakers, business analysts is still like this, the least clear. So if you can just break it down a bit, okay, as a person just getting into technical analysis, business analysis, what are the things I would be, I would be doing? What are the first, basically what the job is about? What would I be doing in my role as a business analyst, just getting into, that field?
Okay, thank you. Let's see. Business analysis is broad and there are different sides to it. There's the data side, there is the for different industry, you have the different sides of being a business analyst. But the general path the general responsibility in a company is to, like I said, solve problems. But how do you can't just say I'll solve problems or partners in other people or in other departments. So for instance, I think I'll drive all my points this way with a story, with a scenario. And so for instance, you're in a company and so you're in a manufacturing company and you have defective, what's it called, product, right? You have defective products. And the guys they've met, they've said, what do we do? How can we have the cocoa? So we're taking Nestle as, as the scenario here. We're taking Nestle as a company used for scenario. So we're like, why do we keep having defective products? We get the best of cocos, and the conclusion or the recommendation at the end of all these meetings are like, okay, we need a tracker, we need a device that will help us, before these products even get out of the market, get out to the market, sorry, we are able to even identify these defective products. Basically, it's better we manage it internally than for it to get out and customers are the one identifying these defective products. Now, that's where the BA comes in. Okay, are we going to, the question now is, are we going to build this tracker or build this device internally, or we are going to outsource it? So either ways, you still have a role as a BA. So from that meeting, the top man, it depends on the company. You are meant to be carried along. You are meant to be involved in all those meetings. So it starts from listening to the issues, the preliminary issues, where you now have to do, there's something we call 5 whys. So that's where you even have to do a segment of 6 Sigma, process and quality. That's another talk entirely, right? So when you do that, that is when you now come into play to now start asking the right questions as to what do we do? Are we doing it internally? Cost benefit analysis. That is where me now as Lola, my finance skill comes to play. Do I want to quickly do a cost benefit analysis to say that, you know what, guys, if we're doing it internally, this is how much we'll be expending. And in the long run, will it be good? Will it not be good? If we are doing it externally, you see all those analyses, those workings, those research, that's like your day-to-day. Then you now move on. When you get a go ahead and they picked a solution and maybe an alternative recommendation. They've said, if this works, if this does not work, this is the alternative. You've done the memo, you've done the documentation, you've sent it to, they've approved. They've approved budgets, they've copied accounts. They said, okay, who are the vendors? Create a memo to start attending, to call for quotes for vendors. That's if we want to use vendors. Oh, we're not using vendors, we want to build internally. Do we have the right resource? Do we want to recruit software engineers? Because this is definitely a manufacturing company. We didn't need a need for a whole IT team. Do we want to recruit? Okay, for us to recruit as the BA, I'm going to write the specification, the roles and responsibility, the key skills that these people need to have in order to get us this device, like the skills that needs to help built this device. You do the recommendation to HR, you work with HR signs off, they create a job description, they send it to you, you approve, you say it is good, because you've researched, you've gone online, you've seen the benchmark that, okay, for a software engineer that can work on a tracker that does this and this and this, these are this. You will do all of those work. When you do all of those work, then you go to the next phase. Okay, I'm not trying to make it sound so much, but I'm trying to, like you said, you asked this question, so I'm trying to drill down into all of the bits, and that's why I took, I tried to take use an example, so I'm not just abstract, basically. So when you move from that, then okay, so let's say we're going with the vendor part. We get the best vendor based on quote, based on their history and how, if they've worked on the project so far. You do that, the vendor comes on board, then you now start requirements gathering. Requirement gathering is, okay, you now want to take the meeting recordings from all the former meetings that the executives have had in the past. You want to start writing it down. Okay, the tracker must have this, and this. The tracker should be able to do this, and this. When the tracker is doing this is what it should do. By this time, it should not be off at so time. This is the maintenance. All of those specifics you are going to gather, and that is what we call your requirements. That is when you now start building or writing your BRD, which is your business requirements document, basically. So when you now write your business requirement document, give it to the vendor. You have a meeting, discuss you discuss the BRD. The BRD in some companies, the BRD goes for a certain process before it goes through a certain process before it is approved, where all the stakeholders that are spoken. So the head of production, the head of wanting, because they want to know, they were the one that brought up this issue, and they want to know that this thing you've written, this thing we've said it should have, hope it's in that document that it should have it that way. Then that one goes that way, they approve it, the IT guys takes it on, then they start. At that time, you start talking to your tester. You've shared the document with him or with her. The tester has started scripting the test scripts, all of those things. And what is the tester going to do? He's going to say that you said that the head should have eyes. The eyes should be color blue. And if it's color blue, it should have a dot in the middle and at the back of the head. The tester want to test all that thing you said step by step. So when you do all of those things, you just find out that months has gone into months, days have gone into days, and 6 months you are on a project, managing a full-blown project. And if you are now in a bank or in a fast-paced environment, you see that kind of project, you would have like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 being managed concurrently. So I don't know if I've given a quick explanation.
And my head is just like heavy. So I'm going to come back to you with how much do business analysts make? Because you cannot be doing all of these things, and you'll be paying me like one small money, like 100K. No, like
no money. That's the painful part. No money. Nigerians. So let me quickly say this before you ask. Okay. Nigerians don't know the words of business analysts. That's the painful part for me. They don't. So let's leave it as that for now.
Okay. Okay. So anyone who is, interested in learning business analysis or going into that field, your eye or your target should be on like foreigners who understand the worth of a business analyst, because that's basically what Lola is saying. So I will just move to Michael right now. So thank you, Lola, for that. I will move to Michael right now. Our senior tech bro, senior product designer, our All right, so I'm just going to ask, as someone who, you did not necessarily have a design background, and, you were actually kind of forced into product design, can you just tell us practical steps that someone who is going into product, maybe for the money, maybe for whatever reason that they may be going into product design, can you just tell us practical steps that, such a person can take so that, they can start their career in product design?
Okay, so cool. So let me say this here. So I know the other time I said something about, oh, I wasn't curious, right? So I wasn't curious. Father, right? So with curiosity, you want to know what's happening here, how is it done? And that's how we grow as individuals, right? So it was a lot for me, right? You know, being in a new space, hearing different things, people talking about frames, colors, you know, components, all of these things. It was a lot of jargons in my head, right? But one thing I told myself is that the moment you stop being comfortable, then you'll be able to pursue more. So I knew at that time that I didn't have to settle for what happens within the classroom. I didn't have to settle for what they were teaching me at that time. I needed to explore myself. I needed to go and learn myself. I needed to go online and see what's happening. So that's why when people reach out to me and say, I want to learn product design, or I want to learn UX design, I am checking YouTube and watching YouTube videos is fine. But being in a space or being in a design school that helps you, that gives you like paths to follow. You know, it's like going on YouTube, you're learning than anything. Contents are just in your face. You're learning. So where you're supposed to learn how to use your frame as a beginner, you're already learning how to use auto layout. You're learning auto layout, you've not even learned how to decide what frame to use to design, right? You're already learning how to create components when you don't even know how to properly align things. Do you understand? But when you go to a design school, they'll teach you the basics from scratch. It's like a curriculum, right? Nobody's rushing you to learn everything at a go. Even if they do rush you, right, you sort of have like a content to follow. Do you get? So you know you're learning from the basics till this point. So at the time for me, even when I was learning the basics, I felt like whatever they were teaching me at that time wasn't, yeah, it made sense. It gave me the basic ideas, but I needed to explore more for myself because that's how I would grow. Right? And I've grown exponentially as a designer, right? Move beyond the basics of having to disturb people on LinkedIn or my contacts on, oh, what should be the padding from left to right? All those things, I wanted to have grown it. I wanted to have learned it further, right? So what I'm going to say is as people who budding designers, people who want to learn how to design, right? First, identify a design school that you like. Please, it's like going to school. Identify a design school that you like. It also gives you access to a community of like minds, people that are like you, that you can connect with, that have been at that position where you are right now, that can sort of give you guidance. You have mentors or tutors who are able to guide you as you go, right? So it's not like you're in the world all by yourself trying to navigate through the corridors of design, right? Belong to, apply to a design school, belong to communities that, you know, like push the design conversation. Also learn by yourself in school. Not everything will push inside your head in that school. Let me not even lie. Be inquisitive, be curious, go on Dribble, go on Behance, go on some design pages, get some designs, explore. So if they teach you A in your class today, ensure that after class, you go back home to go and learn B and C by yourself. So that when you come back to the class and they are teaching you B and C, they are giving you more insights into what you've gone to do already, right? Don't settle for less, right? And it's not a rush work. Don't try to rush your growth. I swear down. I promise you, don't try to rush your growth. Take it as it comes, one step at a time. Do you understand? So I believe I should have answered that question, right?
Yes, you have. Yes, you have. Thank you so much, Michael. Thank you so much. So guys, if there's something I picked up from what Michael said or what Pelumi said, because I'm here seeing. My name is Michael Shah. Michael Pelumi, what he has said, you know, it's to try to dedicate time to your learning journey. Dedicate time to your learning journey. dedicate time to your learning journey. And like you said, you need to like join a product or a design school, yeah. And at More Techies, we have, you know, the product design course, which you learn for a couple of months, and then you can go on to the Talent Accelerator program, which I had already mentioned before, and take everything that you have learned in the program and then, you know, start practicing it and start building a product. So at the end of the day, you're actually following the advice which he said about, you know, giving yourself a year, because at the end of the day, you would have 8 months where you learn your product design, you actually learn the skill, and then you practice and you gain experience as a product designer. So guys, my colleague has already, you know, posted the link on the chat session, so you can just go there and click on any of the links that you're interested in. And he also mentioned another thing about community. So we have a community of about 5,000 people who have different, you know, tech skills. If you check the link in the chat session, you would see it. You can just click on it and you'll be directed straight to the community. So I'll be going over to Joel right now. So apparently Joel is from Edo State, which I did not even know, because I'm actually from Edo State also. So yes, so I'll be going to Joel now. And you guys, I see your questions, and don't worry, we'll be asking them. After Joel, I would just quickly ask Theophila some of the questions that are here for her, because she has to leave us very soon. So Joel, I just wanted to ask, first off, I know there was a time I was working on a project and I was seeing that there was a difference between a product manager and a product owner. So first of all, if you can just tell us the difference between a product manager and a product owner, that's number one. And then number two, I know that there's the popular misconception about a product manager and a project manager. So if you can just clear that up for us also. Thank you very much.
So for clarity between product manager and product owner, most times it depends on the size of the organization. So if you are in a startup, most times the roles can conflict. You can be a product manager and a product owner at the same time. But if you are in a bigger organization where there are several products, that is where product owners come into place. So as a product owner, you are in charge of a particular product. So let's say that there are like 5 products in that organization. You can have like 5 different product owners to manage this product. So in that case, a product manager would be managing those product owners. So you are more like a top level, and then the product owner is here, more focused on the product, while you at that stage, you are more focused on managing the product owners. So that is the difference. So in a startup, it's everything. You can be the product owner, you can still be the product manager, but in more organized institutions, they are product owners and then they are product managers. So basically that's the difference between both roles. And for project manager and product manager, I think this question comes up a lot. Say for a project, you want to build a bridge. So there's a timeline. We are starting this bridge here. These are deliverables, and we are going to complete this bridge at this point. So projects have specific timelines. There's a time to start, and then there's a time to end. But when it comes to products are iterative. Products don't end. You have to keep iterating. You have to keep improving on something. So that's the difference between project management and product management. Project management is specific. Yeah, there's a start and there's an end, while product management is continuous. You keep refining and refining.
Okay. All right. Thank you so thank you very much. Like, you've still not told us how to be a fresh person like you, Shab. Anyway, so I'll just take this question that is directed at Theophila. So someone says, Samson says, as a social media manager, are you at times dragged into sales pitch or product launches in your firm, since it is a startup, which isn't your job description? If yes, how do you navigate such tasks as it isn't your actual job description? So are you frequently dragged into sales pitch or product launches?
Product sales pitch, no, because I'm not in the growth team. I'm in brand and marketing. Product launch, yes. So as someone in brand and marketing, you're all for one for all, meaning you're a member of every department, every work that they're doing, like it affects you. For a sales pitch, most of the time, the growth team does their work, the product team does their work, and then we have a general meeting. So it's not like I'm dragged into product launch literally, but I'm already expecting like them because I have a work to do for them. So the product that your company is making it can be good, but if there's nobody to market it, then nobody's going to know about what your company is doing. So definitely, as somebody in brand and marketing, they used to drag me, and I like being dragged there because it's my work. I enjoy like marketing these things, right? Like I enjoy helping with the publicity. And for growth, the growth and brand and marketing team, they actually work hand in hand. As like I think Esther mentioned earlier how she started with social media management and then she transitioned sometimes into the growth industry because the roles are somewhat similar. Like we can interchange roles at times, right? So yes, like I have to work with them in helping them fulfill their goal. Like they have set targets, right? And so I have to work with them. It's never going to be in your job description. Like you're not going to see do this, do that, because just have it in mind that if you're functioning in the marketing department of any company, you're functioning for all departments. Like every department is going to need in some sort of way. Your roles like are interconnected. Like you have to relate with every single person. And so something that you can do so that it doesn't overwhelm you. I think when you speak about JD, you're talking about like, okay, your own main work is assign time for everybody. So my work is fully remote. On Wednesday and Thursday, I don't entertain meetings. Like I don't know what we're doing. Like I literally told everybody, don't come. Wednesday and Thursday is my no meeting day. Like it's blocked out. If we're having a meeting, it has to be very important. And the highest I can spare you is 1 hour. Yes, even my boss knows, right? Because if not, I noticed that when I resumed, I was having a problem. Like I'll be attending all these meetings and I couldn't perform optimally, right? So I spoke with the lady that was there with me, and she said, like understands that you have your own personal tasks to be done. So if you want to meet with me as regards your product, or you want to meet with me as regards how you meet sales targets, Monday, Tuesday, Friday, any other day, Mutilo. So thank you. I hope that answers your question.
Thank you, Mila. I would like to be like you when I grow up. Like I should tell everybody at the company Wednesday and Thursday, no calls or no meetings. Oh my God. Like I really want to be like you when I grow up. All right. In addition to what Theophila has said, I think Sam saying if this is something that is currently happening to you in your current organization, I think you can go either one of two ways. You can either, make it clear to your manager that, okay, this is not part of my job description. You can speak out in your organization. Just because you're working for a company does not mean you cannot speak or you've lost your voice. So you can always speak out. So you can either, you can either reach out to your manager and talk about how, okay, this is not included in your job description. And maybe if you have to start doing it, they might want to review your salary or something you get. Or the other way you could go is you could, take it as a learning curve. You could be doing this and you don't know where you would need, a sales pitch, or you need to do a sales pitch or a product launch. You might want to, at the end of the day, later on in your career, you might want to go into product marketing, and you would see that these things that you were doing as a social media, although it wasn't your job description, you are actually like making use of it now. So you could either go one or two ways in addition to what Theophila has said. Then we'll just quickly go round with all the speakers and talk about the salary. We, as much as yes, we want to do the work, we also want to make the money. Like everybody is going into tech, or not everybody though, but for people like me and Michael, we're going into tech for this money, and so on. Also, Ifeoluwa also said she's going into tech for the money. So we'll take Theophila, we'll take after Theophila we have Lola, and then we'll have Mary and Joe, and then we'll end with Michael, because I want to ask him an additional question. So Theophila, let's talk about the money, like yes. I think
Okay, so I'm so sorry. Yes. Before we speak about the money, I saw a question from somebody saying like career personality test, and they answered, I think it was Vine, like person got an answer. But there are some things I just want you to have in mind. So if you take career personality tests, you're going to see thousands of career paths pop up by the time you answer the question. But before taking the test, like if you remember when Lola said something, every individual has 4 industries that it can function in. I also mentioned that like I knew that I got knowledge of that before and I mapped out 3 industries, right? So having like these 3 industries would give you a sense of direction when you're taking the career test. So you're not just looking for social media manager and brand and marketing, engineering, because the career questions, they're not asking, they're like going to ask you random questions, right? And then you see some career paths in engineering, like now me, don't give me a career path in engineering, I'll fail. I cannot do it. Don't give me such work, right? So have 3 industries mapped out and you're looking for career paths under those industries. So that should guide you when you're taking the career test. And please take as many as you want to take to be sure. I took like 4, 5, 6, and I was picking the common factor amongst every one of them, right? So yes. Then for salary, salary is always it's a very key subject for me because of, I think one of the things that Michael emphasized was like joining a good community. So joining a good community and like paying for courses, right? It's very sensitive to me because we cannot all agree on the same rate, right? And with a community, you know what to set and what not to set. But if you know your onions and you know what you're doing, you can settle for a base pay of 80 to 100. So let me explain. Just like Oyinlola said, social media managers are not valued in Nigeria. So if you're looking for work, you have to know your onions and you have to, like, I've had people last year, somebody came to come and meet me that they want to do the work of digital marketing department. I say, okay, so how much do you have? Say 35,000 naira. I just started laughing, right? Yes, the typical Nigerian organization is looking for a digital marketing department in one person. So you need to like know your onions and you need to be clear in what you're doing. A base pay of 80 to 100, subject to review. Again, I'm not saying, please, this thing is very sensitive, right? I'm not saying you should go and ask for the money when you don't know what you're doing. But if you've gotten the knowledge, you know what you're doing. You know that even if I don't know everything in the world, if I enter this organization, I have value to offer and it's going to be subject to review. See, you're doing something important for them. Don't let anybody come and meet you and tell you it's not just to post. If it's just to post, you can be posting on your own, right? There's posting there. You can post on your own. So don't let anybody manipulate you with that statement. You know the value you have to offer. Settle for that and ask or negotiate with them. Tell them like it's subject to review, right? It's subject to review. So yes.
All right. Thank you so much, Theophila. Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you for your story. Thank you for putting us through how to get into social media management. I know that you most likely have to go right now. So thank you so much. You guys, if you want to connect with Theophila, you can reach out to her on LinkedIn, but you have to go through us. Anyway, yeah, so I think she'll just put her either LinkedIn link right now in the chat session, or she'll just put her name in the chat session so you guys can connect with her on LinkedIn. But at the end of this, we'll be rounding up very soon, and at the end we'll be having a feedback form where you get to fill in your details, and you would get to meet with all of these experts in the tech industry at your will once you join More Techies. So once you come into our community, or you get any of our programs, or you are in the Talent Accelerator program, you get to interact with these people very frequently. Then we'll be going to Lola right now. Let's just talk about the money quickly. Let's just talk about the money. So Lola, you said we are business. First of all, is there even a role that is appreciated in Nigeria? Because apparently, I know we would move to.
Yes, there are.
Oh, okay.
No, there are, because I don't know. It's if not for passion.
Oh my God.
Oh God. Oh God. And I would say something before the money part, right? And I don't even know what to say. See, if you don't love what you are, I can't talk like this. I don't even read what do I know? But the only thing that will make me explain, do like this I'm doing my hand like this is if I love it, if I like it, if you so. And the reason why I'm still okay, Nigeria base is you have to know that Nigeria is sort of the way you get that crazy experience. That is why we are still here. And I don't know if Teofila will agree with me somewhat, right? Because I feel like she's on my vibe, and I like I feel that like she has experienced all, like I went, like, maybe because we attended the same school. So right. So what I'm trying to say is, don't get me wrong when I say, okay, Nigerians don't value business analysts. Yes, but why are you still here? If guess what? You have to go through this. Nigeria is that mechanic workshop that you need to learn apprenticeship before you go to the white men. I've worked with them, like I think I worked with them briefly last year. They are brutal. Nigerians will still come in the office and be shouting, "Why are you doing?" A white man will tell you to F up. He will tell you to F up for F off, like just go. Do you understand? So just if it's the money part, like Theophila said, if you don't know what you are doing, please just make sure you with review. Know that number one, the company will give you it will give you chance to grow. Number two, you will learn something too when you are trying to learn. Not that you're just there and you're just wasting your time. And yeah, so the money part is, it varies. It can be as a result of how you can bargain, or you can, yeah, basically. So it goes from like 100 to like 2 million naira in Nigeria. A business analyst can earn up to 2 million naira in Nigeria. So this is, if you're earning like 2 million naira, I don't think it's in naira. Maybe it's a company that will pay you in dollars or pounds or whatever currency you've agreed to earn, with the company, basically. And it depends on your capabilities. It depends on what you can tell them, or basically what you can tell them you can do, basically, right? So that's it. So you can move from 100, 200, 300, 500, 1 million, depends on what you can do. And you need to know your strength. Some people have a lot of capabilities, but they do not know they do. How do you know? Especially if you've shopped around, if you've and it's a plus. If you've worked as a salesperson today, you've been an HR manager, please, you bank on that. Use it, because you let them know that you have vast experience, things across different different departments, across several sectors, so you can bring it to the table to help them in solving their problems, and help them in bringing different kind of innovations to the company, basically. So use that as a bargaining power, especially when you want to be a business analyst. Business analysis is sweet, is interesting. And see, what Pelumi has said is key. I also attended a training school, like I'll call it a training school. So please, guys, you can't overemphasize. You will read from morning to night on what's it called on Google. You will read textbook, but you see that attending a lecture, attending a training school is paramount. It is necessary, such that you rub minds with other people, you meet people, you network, and you have a whole lot you get more experience from other people, basically. Do you understand? So I think it's really key to, I'm sure if more techies were available, I'm sure I would have signed up with them basically, but because everybody these days are really wanting to get to know that, okay, I trained with more techies, and at some point my certificate was requested, like, have you had a training before? It got one company requested for it. Have you had any business analysis training before? So you want to also, and when you do all of these things, it gives you that confidence. It's not just knowing that I know this thing. It gives you that confidence to go and face them at the interview session. And confidence sometimes is just what you need to get that job. It's just what you need, because if you know it and you are shaky or you don't, then they'll be like, okay, does this person even know? Do you understand? So that's like the price. It's vast. It's just based on your bargaining power and how you can really tell them that these are the things and bring it to the table. And based on my understanding of your company, this is what I would like to earn. And I'm sure you'll probably do your research and see the pay scale of what they can pay for your role in that company. Yeah.
All
So
right,
that's it.
thank you so much, Lola. Thank you so much. All right, thank you so much. So I know that Lola is not feeling so well, but she actually took her time to be with us today. So I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much for speaking with us. Thank you so much for telling us to set our sights above and not below in Nigeria. So yes, thank you so much. So we're going over to Mary right now. Mary, let's talk about pay, salary, money. I know that you guys work, technical writers, I know that they work for a lot of international companies a lot, because they write about all these blockchain technologies and all of that, all those plenty things. So tell us about the dollars. So don't tell us the salary range in Naira, please, because please. Thank you very much.
Technically, as what I said, it varies, right? We mostly work with rates, and I think it's short stories like how I've been writing for a while, right? I started monetizing my writing skills. Like, I saw a job ad on a friend's status about a full-time technical writer in the US, and I applied and actually got it. But the lady needed me to be, it's like an hybrid position. I needed to be there, and traveling out was not in my plans. I don't have the money to travel out, right? So, and the fact that she actually liked it, and I feel, okay, I think I could actually start doing this on my own, right? I thought I could do it, and maybe in the future I could apply for it. And I knew I needed to monetize this skill. So I started applying to blogs that pay, right? I think I applied to about 15 different blogs, companies that pay. I intentionally left out Nigerian companies, right? I focused on international companies, because I know Nigerians won't be able to pay me that much. Like, they won't pay me what I actually deserve. I had a full-time software development job. I had a full-time backend developer. So I needed a side hustle, to augment the income. Nigerian wasn't smiling. I needed more. So, and I think two actually got back to me. They had their rates, right? I think the list then was about $180. Yeah, and the highest then was about $200, $300. And I knew I needed, these guys have this money. I write for them, right? Let me be able to get more from them. And I think I actually got writer of the month for one of the blogs. Yeah, so I put it out on LinkedIn, because I was always out. I intentionally started writing mid last year. So in less than 2 months, I already got writer of the month. That this was something I needed to put out there. And I put it out there. Congratulations message came in, and I got another offer from that, right? And this particular guy came with, I should tell him my rates. Usually I get rates that they have fixed rate, but this guy telling me to fix my rate. I'm like, okay, this is a good deal for me, right? And I put in, I thought it was too much. Like, what do I know to be asking for $500? And he agreed. And I'm like, okay, this is going to be a good month for me, right? And they agreed, right? So it's like, I mostly write 1,000 words, more than 1,500 words. I charge $300, $400, depending. Before I give rates, I checked.
Just to go.
I decided not to do a full-time technical writing role, right? I wanted to be paid based on article, because I had a full-time job. and I don't want anything to affect my job. I still write, I still enjoy coding. So I don't think I want to write for a living, right? But I would like to take writing as a side thing. So I was doing my full-time job and writing per articles. I get 500. And then it just continued like that. So technical writing is like, is skill people are sleeping on, right? If you actually want to write, please write. There is money in it. So I think the highest I've received as a technical writer is about $1,500. And when the guy asked me, yeah, it's for a research purpose. It took me about a month. And then I was like, God, this is not what I signed up for. It's taking me too much time. And when they asked me to submit an invoice, and I submitted the invoice, I charged him per hour. So I think it took me about 50 hours, and I charged like $30 per hour. So the calculation was like, well, I was expecting him to beat the price down, right? Like this would be able to afford this. And I was like, okay, fine. I'm like, you said what? Fine. Oh my God. So that was it, right? So I've made so much money from technical writing compared to my like software, like my career, right? So it's no longer going to be like it's not looking like my main source of income, and then I write codes aside, that kind of thing. So there's a lot of money in technical writing, right? There is no fixed pay. You could get a job as a full-time technical writer, like you do technical writing for them purely. And you can, so right now I just freelance as a technical writer. So there's a lot of money in it, basically. If it's just be sure that you know what you are doing, because these guys would not go for one who doesn't, if you don't write well, because sometimes they get to promote products. So you have to be able to you have to be very, very vast before you can actually write about this. So it has made me, I've learned about so much technologies that I never knew, I never used in my job, but because I have to write about them, I have to do this. So sometimes they are not paying you because of what you write, they're paying you for your time, for the research you do, because you have to do a lot of research. The article that actually took me a month, I did like a whole lot of research. At some point, it was getting frustrating, but I'm glad I saw it because that's like one of the highest paid I've gotten from writing. And I believe this year there is more to come. So it's limitless. The amount you can get in writing is limitless. As much as you can dream, you can actually get that as long as you have what it takes. So that's it. So that's it for me. Yeah.
Okay, so Mary, you have just told me that I'm not doing anything with my time, apparently, because my time is not giving me that money. Like, I need to be making this money. Oh my God. Like, I really need to be making, no. This year, this is our money year. So, technical writing, here we go. All right, so guys, if you're interested in technical writing, so you can just scroll up the chat to see the links that have already been posted. These are some of the courses that we offer at More Techies. You guys need to start. I want everybody around me to be making this money. Like now I'm Mary's friend though, because I only befriend rich people, like rich people. Mary is making all the money. All right, so let's quickly go to Joel. Okay, so before we go to Joel, someone is asking, what's the difference between technical writing and content writing? They're still confused about it. If Olua is asking, what's the difference between technical writing and content writing? Mary, can you just quickly answer that in like 1 minute?
Okay, technical writing is part of content writing, right? So you write, content writing is vast. Like what Teophilia does, she also has to write content. Like content can be technical, just in writings basically. But when you now talk of technical writing, that means you have to be technical to actually write something like. So mostly people in the technical field, right, in technical space, developers, designers, crypto enthusiasts, all of you talking about blockchain, talking about cloud computing. So just anything that has to be technical, right? Because there are a lot of persons out there. Products come out every day, and these new products, when they come out, it's out there, but no one knows how to use this product. So you write about it, you use them, you write about it. Guidelines, yeah. This guys do on YouTube, like do like technical reviews. Oh, you use Samsung this, and then give reviews, like so that when I'm buying, I know, okay, which to go. Why? So sometimes many decisions of users are based on what they see, right? Okay, before I buy anything, I check the review first. Okay, who has used it? How is it like? What are the pros? What are the cons of this? So these are the things like technical writers do. Like do comparisons. So it's vast. Technical writing can vary. It depends on who you write for. So if you write for a product company, they want you to do comparisons for them and tell others why their product is the best. You are not concerned. Others might be better than your product, but your job is to sell out the pros of that product so that others can actually go ahead and buy, go ahead and click. So it's vast, but technical, it just has to be technical compared to just content writing.
All right, thank you so much. So if Oluwa says she understands it now. Joel, so just tell us about the money so that I'll know that I'm befriending you, because I only want billionaire friends this year. I want to be friends like I don't know if Pelumi is also, yes. I want to be friends. I want to
Not
be
sure.
friends and be, making all that dollars also, because no, now I'm sleeping. I'm awake. No, I'm awake now. So Joel, speak to us.
I think I want to be friends with Mary first.
No, now let's befriend you first. Calm down.
So like everybody has rightly said, yeah, when it comes to salary, Nigeria, the case is not encouraging. Let's just be sincere, yeah? It's not encouraging, but then again, like who said Nigeria is like your testing ground. Nigeria is where you grow. Nigeria is where you take all the insults, you take on 5 people's role and you are paid for one. Nigeria is where you gain strength. Nigeria is where you build yourself for that place you are heading to. And when it comes to product management, there are like 4 basic steps, and that would also determine your salary. Say like for an associate or junior product manager in Nigeria, you get like say 75K to 100K in Nigeria. And for a product manager, you get like 150 to 250K. Or a senior product manager, you get like 400K to 650K. And for like VP of products, you get like 700K and above. And let me give you one gist. There's an interview I interviewed for. It's a senior product manager role. And guess how much? I think it's like 5M, like 5 million for that role, senior product manager. And it's for a company abroad. If it's Nigeria, highest you are getting for that role is like 800K. So you can see the huge difference. Meanwhile, you are going to be doing more in Nigeria compared to what you are doing for those other guys. So basically, Nigeria builds you. Nigeria gets you ready for what you are going to get outside here. So I think everybody should just be encouraged. Start here, grow your strength here, grow your muscles here. Take everything you can take here, and when it's time, you reap the benefit of what you've learned.
All right, thank you so much. Joel. Thank you so much. So you said something that I want to direct to Michael right now. So you said you saw a job opportunity that was a senior product manager, and Michael is a senior product designer. So I'm expecting that his salary range is between 3 million to 5 million. That's how I'm looking at him now. That his salary range monthly is between 3 million to 5 million naira. So yes. Michael, tell us about the money that you are earning that you want to share with us this year. Michael, you are muted. You're muted. We can't hear you.
Sorry. To God be the glory. That's not me. You understand? So, but what I'm going to say is this, right?
Okay.
So a lot of times people say, oh, the Nigerian market is flawed. Oh, you cannot earn so much. You can't earn this. You can't earn that. One thing I need people to understand is that the economic power is also very different, right? You cannot be in Nigeria and expect to earn what people in the US earn. Let's be very honest with ourselves. It's either you get the US job and earn well, or you stay in Nigeria and understand how the earning process works and stay fit with it. So let me give you an example. Last year, I did a 6 months job with a company in San Francisco, and the pay was high, right? But then I would not now say that because I earned that much with them. So when I want to get a job in Nigeria, then I need to earn the same thing. No. That's why when I want to take up a job in the US, for instance, maybe I get a gig and they ask me what would my compensation be like, I always say, based off my research and how the industry works right now in the US, I feel like I would rather do this. Then I'll have to break it down per hour, per week if I want to other benefits. I will have to say those things because I've taken my time out to research what it is like earning outside there. Do you understand? But I would not now be in Nigeria trying to get a Nigerian job and be telling the HR that based on my research and where I have worked before, I want to earn 5 million naira. No, it doesn't work like that. So if you work in Nigeria, right, as a product designer, for instance, I know there are senior product designers that earn about 1.5 million, 2 million, 3 million in Nigeria, right? But it also has to do with the company you're working in. Some companies have moved from just your normal tech companies to unicorns, right? So they have so much money, right? They already have a roadmap that says if we cross 1 billion as a company, this is how much we feel our guys should start earning. So at that moment, they want to start paying you like they pay people outside. For some people that have been acquired by companies outside of the country, for instance. So it means that some policies, some cultures will change based on what they have there. So that's when they start telling you, okay, because these guys have been with you. For instance, you have your founding employees, the people that started with you, like your first 50, they can't earn this amount anymore. They have to increase it because they need to make them, come in par with what the foreign guys are earning. Because it wouldn't make sense that you have, for instance, let's assume that Shopify buys over Flutterwave, their storefront. Shopify brings in their guys to Nigeria to also work in Flutterwave Nigeria. It would be unfair that somebody there is coming and is earning $10K and your guys are still earning lesser than $1,000 and they are the ones doing the job. No, you must always find a way to ensure that there's that balance because you guys are big enough to do that. But you can't be coming to one Alaro Tech in Shomolu and say that based on your research, you want to be earning $2,000. Is the CEO earning $2,000? Do you understand? So we need to tell ourselves the truth. So if you know you work in a Nigerian company and the salary you're earning isn't so much for you, that's why you need to diversify. Have your apply for Yankee jobs that can pay you well, right? As far as your employees or your employer knows that you are now freelancing, because if they can't catch you, it's you that know. But to be honest, right, if you want to get that much pay, don't expect it from here because it will not come from here. The spending power, the economy power is different, right? I bet you when I earned my money dollars at the time, I was balling. Do you understand? I mean, I earned in a month what I would usually earn in 5 months. Do you understand? And when I mean in Nigeria, right, it's not like my salary was bad. I mean, to be comfortable in Nigeria, you need to earn within the 500 to 700K. Normally, if you work in a very good place, you need that. So imagine earning 5 times of that, right? So it's a lot of money, right? But I would not now say that because I'm here and I've tested that life, then I need to start telling my employers that I must earn 20 million. No, it doesn't work like that, right? So, but if you want to work in Nigeria, like I said, understand that the paying rate is different. It's totally different. As somebody said, Nigeria helps you grow. It helps us grow because everybody wants to learn, right? There's hustle. There's also they want to be better. So it's like everybody's trying to be on their toes. Do you get? So, but that's what I'm going to say. You can earn 5 million outside of the country, but you cannot earn it here. Let me not lie to you.
All right, thank you so much, Michael. I know he's just saying that so that he'll put out a disclaimer so that I will not come in, but I'm still coming. I am still coming. So thank you so much to all of our speakers. I mean, we really enjoyed your time here with us. Thank you for sharing your time because I can see that Michael is, I think, working as well. And I also said that, so I also know that Lola wasn't feeling well and Theophila had to be somewhere, but they all made time out to be here today. So thank you so much, Mary. Thank you so much, Joel. Thank you so much, Michael. We're so excited to have had you in this session. So my colleague is just going to post the feedback form right now so that you guys can, all of the participants here can fill that feedback form. In the meantime, you've heard everything that the speaker has said, all of them. They said, okay, when you're trying to get into whatever tech skill or tech role that's when you're trying to get into whatever tech skill or tech role that you're interested in, you need to try as much as possible to learn, try as much as possible to join a community, try as much as possible to build the experience. And this is what we help you do at More Techies. At More Techies, we have different programs, especially no-code tech programs that can help you, transition into the tech space, or that can help you develop in the tech space. So we have business analysis as a program. We have technical writing as a program. We have UI UX design. We have social media management. We have product management also. These are programs that we have, and we also have products in the pipeline like software testing, cloud computing, product marketing. We have customer success. We have a lot of programs that you can join the wait list, and you can start learning. And we also have a community called the More Tribe, where you get to interact with other people also in the tech industry, people that were like you before, and they didn't know anything about tech, and then they joined the community, they started interacting, they joined different learning programs, they joined the Talent Accelerator program, and they were able to get their feet. We have different success stories of people who, there was actually somebody who got into the Talent Accelerator program, and then within 2 months he had gotten his first role as a product manager. That's number one. And then number two, he about a month after he got a role as a product manager here in Nigeria, he also got another international role as a product manager too. So there are like opportunities out there for you. It's just to tap into the resources. So just fill the feedback form in the chat session, and you would get all of the information from us. We also have the Talent Accelerator program, like I said, where you get to practice whatever skill you gain, you gain experience in whatever skill that you currently have. So say, for example, you've already learned product management, but you've not gotten a job, you don't know what to do, you have the certification, and it's a waste. We have a program where we immerse you into, it's a 6 months internship program where you get immersed into practicing everything that Joel is talking about product management. So you get to put all of your knowledge into use by building a product or managing a product, you understand? And at More Techies, we don't just leave you, be it if you go through any of our programs, be it the learning program where you get into the academy, or you go through the Talent Accelerator program, we don't just leave you, you've learned, or come and be going. No, we don't do that. We try to help you even after you're done with the learning program. We try to help you get jobs, or we help you review your CVs, we help you prepare for interviews. So if, for example, you find a role that you're interested in, we help you prepare for the interviews, we review your CV with you, we meet with you, basically holding your hand till like you get your first tech role. This is just some of the things that we do at More Techies. So if you fill the feedback form, you would be able to connect with you and help you through that journey. So thank you everyone for joining in. This has been like an amazing 2-hour session. I'm just feeling sorry for those who joined late or who didn't even come at all, because I thoroughly enjoyed myself. I mean, Mary has inspired and aspired, and everything fired me. She has no, because we are making this money this year. I mean, like, did you guys hear what Mary is earning per article? 1,005. Hey, even guys,
just to be clear, it's a one-time thing. It doesn't happen like every time. I'm saying it like
that's what you will say now. So also, if you want to connect with the speakers, just join the More Tribe and we'll be able to help you connect with these speakers. So just fill the feedback form that is in the chat session. And then, thank you guys for joining in. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Joel. Pelumi, I know he's still hearing us. So thank you so much. It was amazing speaking with you guys today. And we hope to have you, another time also. So thank you very, very much. I think at this particular junction, we have come to the end of this session. So thank you very much. Thank you, guys. Yes, and you guys can do your TGIF or TGIS, whatever it is. So we won't take any more of your time. So thank you so much. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Yeah, bye.
Teacher.